Good evening, it's Tony Cincotta with the Over 55 WTF Now podcast. All right, before we get started, let me be clear about what this is. This is the Over 55 WTF Now, a podcast for the people who looked up one day and realized nobody gave them instruction manual for the second half of life. You did what you were supposed to do. You worked, you raised some kids, you paid some bills, and then one day, one day, you wake up. You say, okay, now what? This ain't a retirement podcast, and this ain't going to be a medical show. And I'm definitely not here to tell you to find your inner peace while you sit there on a yoga ball. This show is about real life after 5-5. Real life after 5-5. After 55 years old. Things to do. Places to go. Bucket lists that don't involve jumping out of airplanes. Not something I would ever do. I'm not going to tell you to do it. Health without turning everything into a diagnosis. We got meetups, meet and greets, and actually talking to people again. It's about staying mobile enough to enjoy your life and laughing at the ridiculous parts instead of pretending they're not happening. It's about staying mobile. You know what I mean? Walk around every once in a while. Don't be sitting on the couch. Don't be laying in bed all day. Get out. Get out there. Be present. If you're over 55 and still want a life, you're in the right place. Now, let's get started with the basics. Welcome to the first episode of Over 55 WTF Now, the podcast for people over 55 who still want to move, live, and leave the house. I am certainly not going to turn you into a fitness influencer. I'm not going to do that. I'm just trying to bring it down a notch and make you walk through a parking lot without needing a recovery plan. You don't need to look like Hulk Hogan in his prime. But you also can't stop every 5 minutes for a smoke break. That's the bar. It's a low bar. But important. What's our mission? The show is about simple stuff. Walking, moving, talking to humans. Remember, that was simple stuff? That was stuff we did every day. Because over 55, it isn't the end. Heck, when I was a young kid, I never thought I'd make it to 55. We're here. We made it. It's just when the excuses get louder than the effort at 55 for a lot of people. I believe everyone needs to incorporate 10,000 steps a day in their life. And I think people look at that and say, oh, Tony, that's too much. What's crazy about that being too much is I got one of these smartwatches, right? And if I don't have this thing on, I actually don't feel like I've done anything. Like I could go on a 4-mile walk, but if my watch don't record it, it's like it never happened. Oh my God, Tony, 4 miles didn't happen because you don't have your watch. Whether you have a watch or not, you can do it. Everybody has a phone. You get an app on your phone. Just get it done. There's plenty of excuses out there, and we're going to tell you ways to do it. Now, one of the things I do is when I go out to like Walmart, people go to movie theaters anymore. I don't know. You go to the mall anymore? I don't know. I go to those places once in a while. You go to the bar, you go to a restaurant. Always have the mindset that I'm going to get my 10,000 steps today. So the first rule that you can take is if you can see the sign that says handicap parking, if you see the handicap parking sign, you're too close. Do not park in that spot. Do not park in any spot where you can see handicapped parking. It's too close. It's built for people that are doing what we want to be the opposite of. And things happen in life, and people need those spots, but let's try to prevent from being there. And if you park right next to that spot, you're too close. Back it up. Walk a little. You'll survive. Now, if you're going to follow my rule that if you can see the handicap parking spot, don't park there, back a little up. I know you people. You're always finding a way to turn things around, turn it around. So if you wear glasses, put them on before you look for the handicap parking, all right? You can't trick yourself. You got to do the work. You got to do the work. You don't squint. Don't lean forward. Put the glasses on and walk, you lazy bastard. Do it. It's for you. It's for your health so you can get out of the house. You got to get it done. All right. Now is the time that we all know about. The time where my name is Tony, but take your name and you can put your name in this segment. The segment is What Tony Forgot Now. We all have those moments. We're over 55. I have grown kids. I love my kids. And yet, I have no idea, not a single idea, what their phone numbers are. If my phone dies, my kids are officially missing persons. Back in the day, I knew everybody's phone number. I had them all memorized. Now I just hit the name and I hope for the best. If you asked me my kid's phone number, I'd say, hold on, I need to charge my phone before I remember my own family. And it gets crazier because every now and then I get a call that says scam likely. Caller ID, scam likely. And it's got a Jacksonville number. But, I'm drinking my H2O, drinking a little water out there. Water's not bad for you every once in a while. I know you like the PBRs, the Pabst Blue Ribbons, little Fireball, little Jack Daniels every once in a while. But stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Back to the scam likely. It's a Jacksonville number. But the guy sounds like he's calling me from the Middle East. He's inside a wind tunnel. He's using a flip phone from 1996. He's like, hello, sir. I'm calling about the warranty on your vehicle. And he says the vehicle. And I'm like, buddy, I don't even own that car anymore. I sold that car 8 years ago. If it still has a warranty, I should be getting royalties. At this point, I stay on the phone. And I have somebody to talk to. Scam likely. Crazy. Now, here's the other thing. You want the 10,000 steps a day. You got to be honest with yourself. If you're one of those people that lack motivation, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it next week. I'm going to do it on April Fool's Day. This isn't going to work. Like, I'm trying to keep you out of the scooter at Walmart. I'm trying to work with you so we can do things at our advanced age. Heck, people live longer today because they're in better shape. And you got to take some of these things to mind. So if you're unmotivated, here's what I do. Get a dog. Not a fish, not a bird, but a dog. You need someone in your life that looks at you like, we're going outside, or I'm going to poop on this rug. I'm going to pee on the couch. You have a dog. That's the motivation that you need when you're not in the mood today to get those steps in. The dog doesn't care about your mood. And can we talk about this for a second? People pay other people to walk their dogs. That alone is a whole nother show we are going to talk about at some point. You're going to pay somebody to walk your dog. That's kind of like hiring a babysitter off Craigslist. I wouldn't do that if you loved your dog. You're a pet owner. All these pet owners all love their dogs. We're going to hire someone to walk them? Really? Maybe the reason they have a dog, and I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. Unless you're injured, working 18 hours a day, or legally dead, walk the dog yourself. That's the exercise. That's the point of the dog. I walk back and forth down the street like a lunatic and make it a rule. Make it a rule to say hi to 3 neighbors. I don't care who they are. Say hi to people that you don't even like. Say hi to someone you're not even sure they live there. And guess what? At the end of the night, guess what you did? You got your 10,000 steps in. You got exercise. You saw sunlight. You talked to humans. And now you're not the mystery guy people only see taking out the trash at night, right? Oh, there's the guy. Got a lot of trash. Lives by himself. What's in the trash? They're thinking that. The people are thinking that. I'm almost out of H2O. Need to get some more steps in. I'm going to need to drink a little more water. Don't forget, when you're walking the dog, you need to bring a little plastic bag. When that dog poops, you pick it up. I'll be honest. I once, on occasion, when I was younger, and didn't have fitness goals along with walking the dog, I would look around, see if anyone was looking. They weren't looking. I may have left some fertilizer for the people. But now, you're into fitness. Get that bag. Drop down. Do a couple squats. And get that rubber glove out. And pick up that poop. And put it in the bag. Now, unless you're really good at it, I'm not very good at it. It would take me 4 or 5 times. I might have to throw up once in a while from the smell of the poop. And then I put it in the bag. I got a couple squats in. You got some thigh movement going on there. So much better than CrossFit, I think. So much better. It's not embarrassing. It's functional fitness. CrossFit doesn't prepare you for the sunrise and poop bending. But the most important part is pick it up. Pick up the poop. Because if you don't, somebody's taking a picture, puts it on Facebook, and now it's, does anyone know who this is? Does anyone know who this is? That's you. That's you not picking up the poop. And you're on the neighborhood Facebook page. You're on neighborhood.com. And I know what'll happen now. People will be circling your house on Google Maps. Your face is blurred like you're on Dateline. And you'll never leave the house again. That's what we're trying to avoid here. This is what I'm saying. You don't need a gym. You don't need motivation. You need responsibility that forces movement. Walk the dog. Park farther away. Say hi to people. Get your steps in. Movement fixes more than doctors admit. And stop answering the scam calls unless you're strong mentally. Go outside instead. That's today's episode of Over 55, WTF Now. Today's What Tony Forgot Now segment, of course, was my kids' phone numbers and apparently what continent Jacksonville is on. Who knew it was in the Middle East? Next episodes, we'll talk about things to do, places to go, bucket lists, health, meetups, and how to build a life you actually enjoy after 55. So get your steps in, get out of the house, and if your phone rings and it says scam likely, it's probably your past calling to sell you something you already paid for. Talk to you next time. This is Tony Cincotta, and I am out of here.